Good afternoon, clarinets. Welcome back. Make sure that your instrument's all put together completely from top to bottom, and make sure that you get a nice read for today because we have a lot of work to do. So pause the video and then resume whenever you're ready. All right, so you're ready to go. Let's get started with our warm-up. We're going to warm up real quick on the odd numbers on pages 4 and 5 of your Essential Elements book. So please get that out ready to go. And we're just going to do the odd numbers again. That means we're going to do odd numbers without stopping, 1 through 9. So we're going to play measure number 1, measures 1 through 4. As soon as we're done with the last measure, we're going to go right into number 3. Then we're going to go all the way to the end, go to number 5, go all the way to the end, go right to number 7, all the way in, and then number 9, all the way to the end, and call it a day from that. So let's get your instruments ready, and I'm going to get my metronome set at 60 beats per minute so we can get started. Okay, so we're going to start on number 1, our very first pitch, which is G. That means no fingers. So make sure you're sitting up nice and tall in your chair. Make sure that your instrument is not sticking out all the way. It is down at a 45-degree angle between your knees when you're sitting, not on your lap or on your chair. Make sure you're holding the instrument up with your thumb on your right hand, not the palm of your hand, just the edge or the tip of your thumb. The front knuckle or the little part of your thumb at the end there, okay? Let's get started. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Number 3. Number 5. Number 7. And number 9. All right, relax. Okay, now we're going to take a moment to review our articulations. What I mean by articulations is the way that you make sound with your tongue into the instrument for quarter notes or any other note, especially when we're doing that warm-up. I hope that you guys are using the tongue to attack the beginning of the note before you actually blow, or actually right as soon as you blow or exhale. So what I mean is making sure that we use the tip of our tongue to the tip of the reed to tap it or make a spit kind of sound, like as if you're going to make a spitball or a spit wad out of a straw and try to shoot it as far as you can. For example, it should sound something like this inside the instrument. Notice I made that t sound right before I exhaled, or right as soon as I exhaled, and that t sound, it was right at the tip of my tongue to the back of my teeth at the top of my roof of my mouth. Instead of that, you're going to use the tip of your tongue to the tip of the reed here to start the vibration of the sound and the air going through the mouthpiece. For example, again. You'll also notice that I had my arm come out and I kept exhaling air through my mouth. I did not just make a short burst of air like as if I was just spitting a sunflower seed. All right, you want to make sure that that spit wad goes as far as you can and hits the person in the first row if you're in the 10th row behind at the stadium at the football game. Try it with me. Ready? Gonna make t sound. 2, 3. Breathe in. Again. Now let's try that through our instrument on open G. Try to make the sound t through the tip of the tongue to the tip of the reed and exhale through that G. 2, 3. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3. Now I want you to try it twice. We're going to play like 2 long quarter notes. Ta, ta, or me first so you can hear. Now with me. 2, 3. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3. Now, what you want to avoid is making sure that you don't go up and down with your jaw when you're tonguing. I've seen that before happen, and I did it when I was young too, where my mouth almost bit when I was tonguing to move the tongue more. That's not going to do anything. Make sure your jaw stays still when you're exhaling to make sure that you still make a good embouchure seal around the mouthpiece, and when you exhale, the reed will vibrate naturally rather than you forcing it to squeeze or pinching on itself. So keep your jaw away or down while you're exhaling, and make sure that reed is only touched by the tongue to exhale, or when you tongue and articulate. So here's the first measure now of number 1 as quarter notes, and rather than whole notes. It's going to sound something like this. You notice that I make sure that when I'm exhaling, I keep blowing air through those 4 beats and tongue the beginning of the quarter note sound. What I've been noticing is that some people in class and on Flipgrid are still accustomed to huffing and puffing, and that's something we want to avoid. Huffing and puffing sounds something like this. There's a combination of things that we're trying to avoid. For example, in that way I just played right now, I was taking a short breath between notes. I wasn't tonguing, I was just exhaling air to create the note sound to start, and the note was very abrupt and very short. Now, technically, that's correct in a way that you're playing quarter notes, but the way we want to play the quarter notes is what we're looking at, making sure that we play the full value of the note. What it sounded like more was a very short note, not a quarter note, something like a 16th note or a 32nd note, which is a really, really fast note or a very, very short note. We want to make sure that we play the full value of the quarter note when we're playing these exercises and when we warm up. In this case, we're going to do another kind of warm up where we're going to do numbers 1 through 9 again, but instead of whole notes, we're going to be playing quarter notes instead. 4 quarter notes to be exact for the measures that have whole notes. Here's number 1, for example. Again, the goal here is to practice your articulation style, tonguing the beginning of the quarter note every time you get to a new quarter note, and making sure that you keep exhaling and not stopping the air before you tongue or right after you tongue the note. So that way you can hear the full value of the quarter note itself. Let's try this together. We're going to do numbers 1 through 9 again, odd numbers only, and we're just going to be playing, instead of whole notes, the 4 quarter notes in their place. Let's get started. Number 1, G. 1, 2, 3. Number 3. Number 5. Number 7. Number 9. Okay, go ahead and relax. And then let's try that again, making sure that we don't take our mouth off the mouthpieces during the rest. Keep your embouchure the way it's supposed to be between the notes that you're playing. So in other words, keep the instrument in your mouth the entire exercise. Let's try this one again. 1, 2, 3. Number 3. Number 5. Number 7. Number 9. All right then, let's go ahead now and take a look at number 15 in page 6 of your Essential Elements book. We're going to be looking at half notes. Now, we reviewed them briefly a couple weeks ago in class, and we're going to review them again today. So we're going to talk about half notes, the way they look, and how many beats they get. Half notes are notes that we play sound, all right? And half notes, as it says in your book, get how many beats of sound? Half notes get 2 beats of sound, all right? Now, the difference in the way that you can tell between a quarter note and a half note is that the half note isn't filled in the note head. Well, as the quarter note head is filled in. That's the one main difference. So where a quarter notes, the note head filled in gets 1 beat. If you see a note head that's not filled in with the stem just like a quarter note, that's a half note, and that gets 2 beats. Now its counterpart, the half rest, looks completely different than the quarter rest. Now the half rest also gets 2 beats, but of silence, hence the name rest at the end. Now, the way we identify a half rest is that it looks like a rectangular box that sits on top of the third line. Again, the half note or half rest looks like a rectangular box that sits on top of the third line. There will be another symbol that looks very much like a half rest, and so we have to make sure that we understand that half rests sit on top of the third line. Okay? Now, they get 2 beats of silence, where half notes get 2 beats of sound. We're going to try first counting and clapping number 15, the rhythm. So place your instruments across your lap, not on your stand and not on your floor. Place them across your lap so we can get started. Okay, so how we count and clap half notes? We're always going to count and clap the note as soon as the sound begins, or when the sound starts. For example, on measure 1 and number 15, you already start with a half note. Now, a half note gets 2 beats. The beat starts, or the sound starts on beat 1. And so you'll clap and count on beat 1, 1, but you'll extend that sound for 2 counts. And if you notice that measure 1, beat 3 is a quarter note and it has a number 3 below it. And then the next quarter note has a beat 4. Measure 1 half note has 2 beats, but you don't say the second beat because you're still singing the beginning part of the half note. So here's what measure 1 would sound like. 1, 3, 4. You notice I put a little emphasis in my sound for where beat 2 was, but I didn't say the number 2, nor did I clap, because I'm practicing the articulation when the sound starts, and I'm making sure that I sing through as if I'm singing or playing the full value of the half rest. Here's measure 1 again. Try with me. Ready and go. 1, 3, 4. Again. Ready and go. 1, 3, 4. Now we know that, let's take a look at the whole thing with the repeat sign. I'm going to get my metronome set at 60 beats per minute. Take a moment to review real quick what the rhythm and the counting and clapping will be. Now, if you're still looking at it and you're not quite sure what to do, just follow along with us and put your finger on the paper. We're going to count and clap together, those of you that are ready, and follow me. I'm going to count you off first, as if like we normally do when we play, and then we'll start on beat 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4, 1. 1, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Repeat. 1, 3, 4, 1. 1, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Good. If you think you got it and you're following along with us, let's try it again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4, 1. 1, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Repeat. 1, 3, 4, 1. 1, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. All right, so now let's take a look at number 16. Number 16 is the same exact rhythm as number 15, except now we're adding the pitches to it. So real quick, I want you to pause this video and briefly review the pitches and the note names before we begin. Okay, so now that you reviewed the note names, we don't have to count and clap the rhythm because we already did it on number 15. We're going to now just singer number 16, the note names. So grab your instrument off your lap and get it on your knee or across your chest, holding it in not playing position, but where you can put your fingers over the keys. So we're going to start on the very first pitch, which is C. I'm going to make sure that I know what it's supposed to sound like. C, C. All right, and now we're going to fingering along and singing the note names in rhythm. Let's get the metronome started. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, 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 D. E, Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, 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 D. E, 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 F. G, F, E, D, C. Repeat. C, 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 D. E, 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 F. Okay, so by yourselves, review that and play it and see if you can do it on your own. Pause the video and let me know when you're ready by pressing play so we can go on. All right, I think you're ready. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. Here's number 16, starting on C. Let me count you off, and we're gonna play together. 1, 2, 3. All right, if you think you got it, let's try it one more time together. 1, 2, 3. Okay, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed our lesson today. We're going to be going on to the next part tomorrow. Make sure that you bring your instruments today if you haven't done so already, and make sure that you get your new set of reeds if you did not get new set of reeds, because we always need some good reeds. All right, don't forget to swab out, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. And bye!